Hey there, this is John Nathan, and we are wanting to let you know your therapy's showing, but it's okay. We appreciate that here. And to appreciate not just your therapy showing, but every bit of our person and our intentions showing through and our work showing through is a concept that a lot of people allow to go overlooked when we do our ridiculing or our voyeuring or our pop culture referencing or our intertwining with friends and family. And to bring the therapy version of that forward instead of our attitude or our resistance or our distance or any of the other negative connotations that emotion and spirit and self may have, to bring the therapy version forward, to offer that the dissonance of, are you going to get the real me or the healed me? And to know that that healed you has their own agenda, and that we know that about ourselves because there wouldn't be other versions of ourselves to present to other people. And to know that when faced with an option or a decision, that, not all humans live with their customer service face on at all times, but that we know that the people that we look toward for our example and for our engagement have to present that, or have been made to have to present that in their lives through an expectation that is way beyond management, way beyond manageable control. And to know that we can bring that intention of our standardized version of ourselves and a healed version, that customer service voice that brings us to an internal processing place that says, this is the version of me that you're going to receive, and to be confident in that with ourselves. And the way that I've been able to see that, to engage with that, to take inspiration and strength from that is through our pop princesses, through our girly pops who bring they bring the beats, the rhythm, the song, the sirens, but they also show the demonstration of what, uh, I mean, in my opinion, what valor, strength, and epitome of human strength looks like. They make it look pretty though, and they give it a nurturing environment. They give it it's a nourishment for our souls, for our pop souls. And to engage with that type of interaction, most of them, like in our last conversation, we're talking about Kesha and Cardi B and the fact that they live in defiance out loud. But to have to know that you may have some of that within you, but to have to present differently at each and every turn, at each and every table, at each and every photo, in each and every album, in each and every song, in each and every episode. To have to present that and still be yourself and still maintain an identity within self has to be one of the most complicated jobs in the world. And the way that I've been able to notice that, to see it, to recover from the way that we were trained to consume that, and to give the flowers and the lateral understanding of, oh, you're working way harder than other people understand, is through the pop princesses who have been have been through the gamut, understanding the gauntlet of manufacturing, of done and dusting, from Disney Channel, from the the pitting against each other. Will they, won't they? Or is she, isn't she? These two, like the narrative that was so boldly and inappropriately projected onto all of us humans through tabloid or through infomercial or commercial, it still had to be combated by the people who lived that. And so for our subject matter experts for the week, we are bringing our Disney princesses, and not the ones that you think, our pop princesses, starting with, we got Demi, Selena, Taylor, and Miss Miley. And there are others, there are many, but these four specifically brought us through our internet age, brought us through YouTube, brought us through the Disney Channel, brought us through the magic wand that demonstrated that, we can have the best of both worlds. We can also allow for other people to know that we are sensitive, that we are injured, that we are in injury and trying to heal and recover, and to understand that the slightest imposition or the slightest inconvenience could cause an entire heartbreak, could make your heart break, and you may not recover. And to know that that is a thing that can happen. That's not the goal. Our goal is to always be able to recover, to bring ourselves back, and to be able to converse and discuss and decide and choose and choice about the way that we want to proceed with our practices and with our behavior. And to know that there are versions of this where that wasn't allowed, and you had to be perfect and presentable at all times. And there are other people who also went through this. So like it's not isolated to just the ones that we know, but they're the most affected by what we did in that environment with the internet and the comments and the YouTube section and the predatory behavior of what consuming art looks like. The people are not there for your consumption, and yet we've shifted that version or the view to being available 24 hours a day for us via the internet, instead of going out to purchase the things, to have that in our home, so that we have licensed agreement with the artist that says, I'm with you, I'm paying for my engagement with you, and I appreciate the art that you put out into the world that we are able to consume to align our thoughts and our behaviors and regulate our bodies within a safe space. And that's why we go to these people, to Miss Selena Gomez, to Miss Taylor Swift specifically. We go to her very specifically to learn how to regulate our internal systems, because she brings that rhythm, that strength, that pattern, the pattern recognition, the rhyme. And then she recruits some of the most intelligent talent within the world to be able to bring that, not for her benefit, it benefits her, but it's for our benefit. She can do this on her own, but she's bringing the sound that we want to hear, that we need. And to be presenting the personal struggles and strifes out there into the world, instead of the narrative that says, these girlies can't hold their own. When we very clearly see like 12 to 15-year-old Hannah Montana, Miley Cyrus carrying an entire Titan for almost a decade. And then to be ridiculed and browbeaten for not being able to develop in their own individual right, as we watch that play out on TV as well, is a thing that will know that moving forward in the future, I don't think that other people will have that same level of inappropriateness impacted upon them. It's still available. It's still there. There's just a different version of the narrative that says, oh, that's not good. But if you look back on the comments of the people who are saying that, they were right there in the middle of that in 2010, saying whatever they thought and felt because they didn't think anybody would look or listen. And to know that Ms. Demi Lovato, with her documentary on YouTube about her most complicated struggles in her life, a literal end of life moment that shifted all of her perspective. And to know that Miss Miley Cyrus not only brings the intelligence and the maturity that says, I'm a woman and I'm an adult and you're going to treat and respect me that way. It took her years to get past the idea that people just thought of her as a little girl with a wig on. And to know that she had to not only guard herself from that, be protected by others from that, which can feel restrictive and constrictive, and then to combat that within her own internal life while still presenting the smile, gave us the best of both fucking worlds. And we can take lesson from that. We can take lesson from these versions of human interaction that used to be considered appropriate or acceptable in the least, and to understand now, like, they rolled up that newspaper for us and are beating us in the nose with it, saying, like, that's not okay anymore. And it wasn't really then, but it was allowed. And now we're going to say, let's not do that moving forward. And these girls specifically gave us the opportunity to witness their therapy, to bring that out in their music. To Miss Selena Gomez's request for, I'm calling you. I've broken up with the illness and we are calling you to let you know, Miss Selena Gomez, your therapy's showing. Miss Demi Lovato, from the moment that, I mean, I've been a fan from Sunny with the Chance, but from the moment that you took matters into your own hands and presented your weaknesses and strengths together in a documentary series that was the most impactful in my personal sobriety, thank you. And your therapy is showing. Miss Miley Cyrus, you have absolutely been one of the most influential people in my life. And I think you are one of the most commendable human beings. And Miss Taylor Swift, thank you for everything. Thank you for the lyrics and thank you for the music that brings us all to a place. It's like church. It's like bringing us to the same place, to have the same emotion, to let that emotion be released, and then to remember that we're all okay and that we will be okay and that life continues to go on, and that regardless of how we feel about a thing in the moment, if we utilize the tools and the skills and practice every day, that we too can let our therapy show. And I'm John Nathan, and we appreciate y'all here listening for Your Therapy's Showing. I'm proud to report Miss Demi Lovato, Miss Selena Gomez, Miss Taylor Swift, and Miss Miley Cyrus. Your therapy is showing, and we are all better for it.